Our mission as a church is to create a space for all people to experience the love of Jesus through the love of his people. And the reason why I've loved our mission statement is that it gets to this idea of some spaces are more conducive to people experiencing Jesus' love than others. And so the thought of having a building of our own where people can have a dedicated worship environment where they can encounter the person of Jesus through the transforming study of his word, experience the love of Jesus through the love of his people, and engage the work of Jesus through mission and discipleship is really exciting for me. Hey, this is Colbert and Kelly with Missio Dei Falcon. And for the last 12 years, we've been praying that God would use our church as a gospel anchor in the very transient community of Falcon. For the last 10 plus years of that ministry, we have been able to meet on Sunday mornings at Woodman Hills Elementary School. They have been incredibly generous hosts and so kind to us as we have done our weekly worship gatherings there. But we have long felt that having a building of our own would enable us to do better ministry in the community of Falcon.
Missio Dei Falcon has been a setup and tear down church for 10 plus years now. So the idea of having a place that's established and located in the community is just so exciting to think about. We've had 7 classrooms for Missio kids that get set up every Sunday in little alcoves, and we do our best to make those welcoming and clean and fun for those children. But the idea, especially being the Missio Kids director, of having classrooms that are set up and established for the 30 to 40% of our church being children is really exciting.
Recently, God has given us the opportunity to come under contract on an ideal piece of property located right in the heart of Falcon. If you've ever been to Falcon, you know that that intersection of Woodman and Meridian is as central as it gets. And there is a 5-acre lot that we are now under contract with that is located just one turn off of Meridian. It's so centrally located that it couldn't be more perfect for a future church home. And with the fact that Falcon is exploding with growth, thousands of new houses are being built, many families are moving into the community still. The thought of having a gospel outpost located that visibly in the middle of Falcon is something we're really excited about.
The idea of having this space has been something long prayed for, and we are so excited to think and dream and join and partner with what God is potentially doing in our midst.
We're calling this project Missio Establish, drawing from Psalm 90. And in that psalm, Moses begins by reminding the people of Israel that the Lord has been their dwelling place throughout all generations. And as a setup and tear down church for the last 12 years, it's important for us all to remember that having a building of our own won't change the fact that our rest ultimately comes from finding our identity in God. But as that psalm wraps up, Moses asks that the Lord would show his power to one generation and his glory to future generations. And I love the concept of that, saying that a work of God showing his power here in our midst is not something we want just for us, but we want to see that continue, that ministry go forth for future generations. And so having a church building is a way of saying, not only are we a gospel outpost for this generation, but we want future generations to come to know the glory of Jesus. And then Moses ends by praying that the Lord would establish the work of our hands. And the reason we love that concept as this idea of a project being called Missio Establish is that it reminds us that it's our hands doing the work. God is inviting us to join what he is doing, but ultimately it's the Lord's power that will be the one to establish the work that we are doing. So we are currently in phase 1 of a multi-phase fundraising project. And in this stage, we need to raise $130,000 in the next 90 days in order to get us to closing. So we're asking you to prayerfully and joyfully consider partnering with the work that God is doing here in Falcon. If you're able to, just click the link below, and we're excited to see what God does. Thanks.